All right, you guys. So it is Wednesday. Shh, stay calm. Gunner's out of frame, I think. Anyway, it's Wednesday. So our workout today, guys, we took what we programmed originally and we're trying to modify it to fit at-home workouts. So again, going into this stuff, just know that it's going to take a little bit of creativity and using what we have, because not everyone has the same equipment. We tried to spread it out across as many members as possible. We still have some stuff left, not very much, just a few dumbbells, maybe a couple barbells, a handful of plates, but nothing crazy. So if you haven't gotten equipment yet, call me, text me, reach out to me, let me know so we can arrange a time to meet at the gym and get you some equipment so you can have something at home for the next coming weeks. But let's talk a little bit about our workout. So Wednesday's workout, guys, we are diving in with a buy-in first. Now, originally this was a 1,000-meter row, but since we don't all have rowers, we have options. So I've got 1,000-meter row, an 800-meter run, or a 2,000-meter bike. So if you have a rower or a bike, you have options there on your distance. If you don't, I know the weather's not great. It's only 800 meters, and it's the only time you have to go outside. So just like we learned last time with our shutdown, using Google Maps to figure out distances from your front door or anything else like that to find those running courses is going to be important in the next few weeks, because just like at the gym, we don't program our cardio stuff, our steady state cardio, around the weather. If it happens to be cold, if it happens to be rainy, put on a jacket, do something like that, deal with that stuff. Why? Because it's going to make you mentally tougher. And so running is still a vital stimulus, while we tend to avoid it a lot as CrossFitters, because I don't know that many CrossFitters that love to run, let alone people that love to run in general, but they are out there. So, you know, do your best. But if we don't have a rower or a bike, that run is really the only other option. So we're going to start off with an 800-meter run, a 2,000-meter bike, or a 1,000-meter row. We then go immediately into 3 rounds of 10 alternating pistols, 10 alternating dumbbell push press, which I will talk about this one because this was originally programmed with 2 dumbbells. If you only have 1, then we'll talk about how to break this up. It won't necessarily have to be alternating the entire time. And you'll see what I mean by 2 dumbbells. So then the next thing would be 20 alternating reverse lunges. And that's with those same dumbbells. Again, if we only have 1 implement, 1 dumbbell, 1 kettlebell, something like that, we can do the lunges with the load of that one implement as well. So we go through 3 rounds of that pistol, push, press, reverse lunge, and then your cash out. While it was originally GHD sit-ups, today it is weighted sit-ups. So we're going to talk about those weighted sit-ups. And it's only 30 at the very end of everything else as your cash out. This workout is done from the top with the buy-in and the cash out for total time. There is no time cap today, so work your way through it. But we'll also talk about some scaled options for our pistols and everything else. So let's start off with the pistol. Now, the pistol is one of those movements where you either know you have it or you don't, or maybe you're close, and this, quarantine is a good time to practice those pistols, to practice those movements that are higher skill movements, that are challenging, that maybe you just haven't put in the time and effort to develop those skills. This is a great time to be working on skills we don't have, so when we get back in the gym, we were either progressed a little further and closer to those skills, or maybe we have them. Maybe we get our pistols down during these 4 weeks, and so when they come up on the whiteboard again, then all of a sudden you get an RX next to your name that you wouldn't have gotten before. So lean into those things when we're talking about consistency, talking about doing something every day for these 4 weeks. Even if it doesn't feel like much, do something. We're going to have those programmed workouts and everything like that every single day, but some days I know that we deal with seasonal depression in Washington anyway, but when we're dealing with a shutdown on top of not being able to potentially see friends and family on Thanksgiving, we don't know what Christmas looks like yet, we don't know all that stuff, so it can be a very stressful time. I encourage you, take the time that you're working out to just think about this. Just think about the next rep. Don't think about all the other things that are going on in the world today and in our state specifically. Let's just focus on doing the best we can at the task that's set aside for us. when it comes time to just move, sweat, and breathe. So we'll talk about pistols. Now the pistol itself is a one-legged squat. The standard on that is you're gonna still break your depth, so hip crease below the top of the knee, coming all the way down, breaking depth on that pistol, and then standing all the way back up, so full extension of that leg before my other foot comes down. A really common fault that you see, especially if you're a little more proficient at pistols, is having that other foot make contact with the ground before you've hit full extension. So coming all the way down, standing back up, and then before you're standing tall, this foot hits the ground and you finish standing up tall. That's technically a no rep. So we want to avoid that. Think about full extension, lock that knee out before that other foot touches the floor. And they are alternating. So if I am alternating my pistols, if I do one on my right, and then I go do a pistol on my left side, and I stand up all the way, cool, I can go back to my right. And now if I get a no rep on my left side, I need to repeat my left side and get a good rep there before I can go back to my right side. That's the way that these work. It doesn't mean I can just knock out 10 pistols on my strong side, because I can do it here and I have a harder time on my non-dominant leg. So I want you to hold yourselves accountable to that stuff. Just because we don't have a coach watching our every move or anything else like that, or holding us to those movement standards, the Open is still, only 3 months away. So we want to make sure that we're training to standard when we do things like this. So then when things come up in the Open in February, and we know pistols were there last year, they're gonna be here this year, that we're meeting the standards in training. So then meeting the standards when it matters, not that it doesn't matter in training, it always matters, but when it matters in a competition sense, that we've done that standard so many times that we do it without thinking about it. That's gonna limit our no reps and things like that when things happen in the Open. So that's the pistol, gonna alternate back and forth. It is 10 total reps. So that's 5 reps each side if I'm alternating. From there, let's talk a little bit about the dumbbell push press. Now this is an alternating dumbbell push press. To have it be alternating, that requires 2 dumbbells. If you only have 1, do a regular dumbbell push press and break up that 20 reps between right and left. Maybe I go 5 and 5 and switch a couple times. Maybe I go 10 on one side, switch 10 on the other side. Again, utilizing some creativity if I've only got the 1 implement. But how this is gonna work with 2 dumbbells is I'm gonna load both shoulders. I'm gonna only push press on one side, but I have that load on the other side. So I'm gonna dip and drive and do a push press on my right, and then change sides. Dip and drive, push press on my left. So I'm getting that additional loaded stimulus in each shoulder, even though I'm only pressing with 1 arm. So it's 20 total reps of that push press back and forth. From there, I'm going to a reverse lunge, an alternating reverse lunge. Now the way that we intended on doing this is these are weighted. So using those same pair of dumbbells, I'm gonna just hold them at my sides, and I'm gonna step backwards, trailing knee touches the ground, stand all the way back up. Switch legs, trailing knee touches the ground, standing back up tall. So if I only have 1 dumbbell or 1 kettlebell, if you hold that in a front rack position and do your reverse lunge that way, you're still getting that loaded lunge. May not be as heavy, but it's a great workaround if you've only got 1 implement. So those are the standards on the pistols, the dumbbell push press, and the alternating reverse lunge, the weighted sit-up. I'm just gonna take 1 of my implements. If I have an ab mat, I can use an ab mat. If I don't, you don't need it. I don't have an ab mat here. It is only 30 reps. So my favorite way to do weighted sit-ups with a dumbbell or a kettlebell is you're gonna hold it on your chest. In this case, I'm gonna bring it up into like a front rack position. Knees can be bent, and I'm gonna have my shoulders touch the ground. I'm then just gonna sit all the way up. Oh man. It'd be nice to be able to anchor your feet, but lay back down, sit up. These might be a little more challenging if you don't have a way to anchor your feet. If you have a barbell, or if you have some other implement, maybe I can use my other dumbbell to just hold my toes down. So I'm gonna wait that sit up. Nope. Well, you get it. It can still be challenging. It's only 30 reps. When it's at the end of the workout and you're tired, it might be a little bit harder, but you could find something to stick your feet under to anchor those down. It could be your couch. It could be, you know, shoot, I don't know. It could be like a rolling jack in your garage for your car or something. Find something, some way to make those a little easier, because that counterbalance of having your legs out in front of you may not be enough. And this isn't that heavy. This is only a 40-pound dumbbell. So do your best. Again, it's only 30 reps. They're supposed to be challenging. So we'll end with those 30 reps of those weighted sit-ups. Again, this is all for time. So that 1,000-meter row, 800-meter run, or 2,000-meter bike, 3 rounds of those pistols, dumbbell push press, and reverse lunges. 30 weighted sit-ups as your cash out. Time. So should be a good one today. Try to find a pace and a rhythm here that allows you to be more efficient. If you're gonna break things up, have a plan. Know that if I need to rest on my pistols, if I'm gonna do 5 and take a breather, and then do 5 and take another breather, and then have a plan. Planned rest will always be less rest than unplanned rest. Because if you have an intention there, you're gonna take a couple breaths, you're gonna get back to it. If you don't have an intentional plan on how you're gonna break it up or how you're gonna rest, you're gonna stare at your dumbbells, your kettlebells, your barbell, whatever it might be. I guess I never mentioned that this could be a barbell as well, where you could just do 20 reps of push press with a bar. If you had a bar, I'd say maybe it's 95 pounds. Yeah, probably 95 for guys and 65 for the ladies. And then the reverse lunges, you could always load that in a front rack and do reverse lunges with the front rack with a barbell as well. So, yeah, anyway, working all the way from the top to the bottom for time today. Should be a good one. Again, use this as an opportunity to tune everything else out that's going on. I know kids are in school and parents having to work at keeping your kids on task and get their work done and all that stuff. There's so much going on and so many other things to stress us out. Hopefully, this is at least that little bit of time out of your day where you're not stressed out by everything else that's going on. So breathe, let it all go, have a great workout. Let's get after it.